Today we are going to be building our own very stock analyzer. We're going to go in and we are going to write, can you analyze the AAPL stock? So this is the Apple stock, and then the whole application gets excellent triggered. You can see that we are getting the output where it is going and making the call to get chart. Right now the whole process is running, and then we are going in there, and then outside Telegram we are going to get send analysis. You can also see that we are using OpenAI chat model for this, and look at this, we got the proper information about this stock market, about AAPL. We know exactly the technical analysis and how the stock is actually performing at this current stage, and we have got detailed information that you can see here on exactly how the stock pricing has performed. This is excellent because inside Telegram you can have many different stocks and you don't have to go and search on websites. So this is excellent. And now our goal is to implement this all for you from really scratch so that you know how to build this out. So first we go in there and we search for nodes, and we are going to choose a trigger node. Inside N8N you always start with a trigger node, and we are going to select on message because inside Telegram we are going to execute that, execute a message. And right now when we execute this step, it is listening, and when we write anything it's going to output. So when we test it out, we see that we have gotten responses here, which is excellent. Now we are going to go and we are going to select AI agent, and here we can select something like OpenAI for this specifically, defined below, as you can see. And we've got this agent where we are setting up different prompts. So we are taking the text which was already added and we are giving it as context to the AI agent. Now we are going to select a model. So for us that is going to be OpenAI model. We have already connected them, and we have created many videos on how to work, how to connect different OpenAI models or Telegram. Please check the link, and the video is going to be around here. Then we have to associate memory so that all the information is saved. This is important for us because we want the text information to be saved. Right now we are defining the key and the value while you're setting it up. So right now we've got the key, which is the ID for the chat. That's the information that we wanted properly saved, as you can see. And once we execute this step, hello again, how can I help you today? So this whole information is properly saved here. So now we are also going to add in item because we want to see different, we want to output it back into Telegram. So we are looking for Telegram and we are searching for different message actions that we can find. And we see that send a message. Let me see where I can find it. Send a text message. Exactly. So send a text message is the response that we want to send it back. We've got AI agent which has given us an output, so we can input that, and that could be the send a text message. We're also adding tool because tool calling is important, because this is exactly where we are making the API call. And as you can see, we are calling the call N8N workflow tool. This is when we want to call another N8N workflow, and I'm going to go into detail about exactly what this N8N workflow is going to be. Right now from the workflow list, we have to find the N8N workflow. We've got a lot of it because we're using many different N8N workflows. So yeah, when I look at get chat, this is the workflow that we're going to select, which we are going to call. And I'm going to go into detail about exactly this workflow is later on in this video. And then we can see that we have got send a text message, which is exactly going to be which we are going to take the output from the AI agent as previously mentioned. And we also have to look at the Telegram trigger and just look at the chat ID, and that is also added in there. Now let's execute this step and see how this works. So when I execute, okay, I'm getting the whole response and I'm getting the output, and when I look into it, how can I assist you today, this message was automatically, okay, that's perfect because this whole output is coming out perfectly. So when we are making the call, we are seeing everything properly inside Telegram. That's excellent. Now we are looking at exactly get chat that you could see. This is a workflow input trigger. This is another N8N workflow that we are calling. We have to obviously execute it, and for that we are going to just use a trigger when executed by another workflow. That's exactly what we came out. So this we know is a sub workflow trigger. So we are adding query and test stock trigger. That is the output that we are expecting, and that's the format that we want. We can set up different key values exactly here for this. And then we're just gonna go in there and we're gonna edit and set some of the fields. You can set up many different fields, setter and getter method, so any variable you can assign a different value to, and you can do manual mapping and you can also do JSON mapping here. So right now for our case, we have got a query and test stock ticker, and we can change the output. So we can set up key value. As you saw, we set up key value here. You can assign it anything. Right now you can see there was name which is there, but we could just add ticker, and ticker is the output which is gonna come out. Ticker, yeah, that's the key. We have given it a type and we have the value. So right now the output is ticker, test stock ticker. Exactly what was our expectation. So this worked really perfectly. We are taking workflow input trigger and then we are editing the field. Ticker is the key that has been set up. And now we are going to make HTTP requests. So this is when we are trying to call another application here. As you can see, we are going to run API requests and we are going to call this external API. We have got HTTP get. We have to input, we're using a get method and we just have to input a URL. Once we have this URL, then we can easily go and trigger that and call it. So right now when I go to chartimg, this is where we are getting the chart, the beautiful chart that you're going to see. You have to go inside the API documentation and there you have to find the get request where you're getting a trading view on all of this. So when I'm scrolling down, I've gone all of this, but you have to look at the latest one because the latest ones are the best maintained. And all of them have proper documentation with all this information. You can see we have got a lot of different charts in there. We've got different curl requests. We have also got an information on exactly how to call them. And we have to figure out what kind of chart are we looking for, which chart do we want to call. These curl requests are excellent because they are the easiest way to actually make any API request to any platform which is out there. And we can import inside init this. This is very powerful. Any curl request can be imported. So we are just gonna take this and we're gonna paste it here. As you can see, curl post. So we are 4 windows. So we have to post it in there. Once we post it, then all of the fields are already updated. As you can see, the headers are updated, so you don't have to do all the guesswork yourself. You could just import curl. I really recommend to always do it like this because when you're making an API request, a lot of things can properly go wrong. Now let's go inside there and you have to select, they've got a free plan, which is excellent because they have a daily limit of 50. And with this, you can go set up your account. So this is going to be completely free. They've got API key, as you can see. So you have to go to subscription, basic, and then click on API key. If this is super interesting, you can also go for pro. But for right now, basic is excellent for us. And then you've got API key, generate new API key, and you just need to put this all out there. We deleted our API key, so that can't be used anymore. But this is the one that we have got in there, and we're just gonna input it. You need these API keys to exactly authenticate. It's like a password. It's just like you have email password. This is like an email password that you're gonna have in simple terms. Obviously, it's more complicated than that, but in simple terms, that's how it is. Yeah, API chart, version 2, TradingView, advanced chart. This is the URL that we have gotten for the post request that we are making here. And then we are adding an endpoint, which is storage. And that's the output because that's the output that we want. That's exactly the URL that's coming from the API documentation, the storage one. Now, as we go deeper into it, because we want to look at all of these responses, what kind of response are we expecting or what we want. For us, in our case, it could be application JSON. If you want an image, we have to say image PNG. But here, we are gonna just add this content type and we are gonna mention for us application JSON because that's the format that we want the response to be. If you want an image being outputted, then obviously the other fields were the one which are perfect for you. So now when we trigger that just to see if the JSON is being executed properly, we can see we've got the URL, size, cars, e-tag, all of this information is there. And we are also getting an image. As you can see, a URL image, that is also something that we can display properly. Now we are going to make another HTTP request, as you can see. So we have got a get method and we are taking this exact URL because with post we are sending data, and with get we are collecting data. So with post, we added the AAPL or stock trigger to get information, and now we are making a get request, and from that get request you see we've gotten the image. This is the URL image that we were seeking to get, and that's what I showed you exactly how to show inside Telegram. Now, obviously, going forward, we want this image to be properly analyzed, and we are analyzing it using OpenAI. You can use many different models, and as an input, because we have to get an input type, we're gonna add a binary field, because that's the format in which we got the image. So binary field is just when image is converted into a textual format. That's how it is saved and easily read by the computer. And you can see we are choosing different models, and we are just going to read exactly what is in the image. We have added our prompt, what is this image? This is, you can make it very complicated. As you see, this is one of my favorite prompts where I'm exactly telling it financial analyzing, specialized in technical analysis of stock charts. If you want more detail about this, check my school community where I'm going extreme into the best prompts which are out there and how to write the best prompts to get the outcome that you're looking for. So you see that we've got this expression, and then on the other side we have got result. So you really have to inform about that, and you see support and resisting, all of that information is out there. Now we are going to execute this whole step, and we are going to be able to analyze the whole of image, and we are going to see that image properly analyzed and executed here. GPT-4 is running on that image 4.0, as you can see, and right now let's look at it in tabular format or JSON format, whichever makes it more cleaner for you. So we have gotten shows us. So what does this chart show? The analysis has happened. The chart shows a strong bullish trend. This is in the choices and in content. So OpenAI GPT model actually inputted all of this information. We can go right now and format all of that information, or we can send it automatically back to Telegram. In our case, we are adding send a photo image because that's the image that you saw inside Telegram. So we've got a send a text message, which is excellent, but maybe we also want to send it as an image. This chat ID is really important because this is going to tell you every chat has a specific ID inside Telegram, and you want to just call that chat ID because that chat ID is a response. So that's why we added this exact ID in there. And we also have to add a URL here because this is the binary file that is going to be taken, which is going to be sent. So when you see photo 1, photo 2 data, all of that information is being added when the image has been analyzed. So in the end, we know which image is being analyzed right now. So the image which came in, that's the one that we want to send, and that image is the one that we showed. Now we are doing some manual mapping. This is just setting up setters and getter method. So how do we want the response to be to make it just easy to parse? So we've got a response string type, and obviously the output from the content output that we are getting, we're going to add it in the response because that's something that we want to show inside Telegram. So we are setting a value. We are setting key value response. We are setting up to this value, and then it's excellent because we can go inside Telegram and exactly call it. The Telegram node we can just use and we can call it. So when we do get chat, okay, the get chat is get chat is being called. Get chat, which is obviously our sub init and workflow that we have, and then we have to go and we are going to let's check it out. If we execute all of this here, then we have to send a text message. So if I go here and I just write something, let's say, can you please analyze the AAPL, which is Apple stock. So let me run it because that's going to execute this trigger. And okay, this is properly executed. Before that, execute workflow is really important. So right now it's analyzing using GPT. We are making a call request to this other agent where it is making an HTTP request to the chat API that we were making, and all of the response which is coming, that is being analyzed properly and being sent. Look at this. So now we got the output coming from the GPT model, GPT-4.0, and then it's sent as a text message. This image and the analysis comes from the call init and workflow tool, and it is set up as a key value with response. candlestick analysis. It gives information. We informed it actually about candle and MACD analysis, volume analysis, because we do also a lot of trading, so I'm involved a lot in that, and that's why just trying to use something which is benefiting me. These prompts have benefited me a lot in order to trade, in order to fast get all the information on how the markets are going, and then you can do proper trading. Because trading, AI can analyze data really well, and this helps me significantly in all of this. If you're a trader, this could be really beneficial, or if you've got other friends who are traders, they can also use all of this all together. Get chat, workflow. And if you want access to all of this, as you see, check my school community where I've got all of these workflows in detail for you. Like and subscribe and share it with any of your friends who is out there, because we put a lot of effort in this, and I think it's really useful for anybody who's trading and who wants to make trading really simplified, because otherwise these charts can look very complicated.